In today's episode, what's sold on eBay, plus a little celebration. Stay tuned. What is up, Galaxians? Welcome to another episode of Galaxy CDs, Rocks, and Flips. If this is your first time here, my name is Ryan, and I am a full-time reseller, part-time YouTuber, and podcaster working out of my home here in the Batcave in the greater Cincinnati area, and this channel is all about the flip life. You've reached the midweek What's Sold on eBay recap episode, and unlike last week's, which was kind of a downer, this week I've got some pretty cool stuff to share with you. But first, I wanted to have a little mini celebration and a thank you. Over the weekend, the channel got its 8,000th view, its 350th subscriber, and the podcast went over 2,000 listens. I don't know what I expected when I started all this, but when I looked at the stats over the weekend and saw those numbers, I was a bit flabbergasted. I was really surprised and really thankful for all of you that have come and spent some time here on this channel with me. I wanted to give some special shout outs. First up, my OG 28. If you've been here since the beginning, you know that I got to 28 subscribers on the YouTube channel and it just sat there. I was at 28 for what at the time felt like an eternity. And many or most of you have stuck with it. You're still here, you're still watching, you're still commenting, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. The rest of you, don't feel left out. I can't tell you how much I appreciate those of you who have found this channel and joined the Galaxian family. I really, truly appreciate it. I appreciate all of you who whack that thumbs up button every week, who give comments and share your thoughts and your input and your feedback on whatever it is we happen to be talking about. I appreciate when you share it. I appreciate the podcast listeners who obviously we don't have quite the interaction with because there's not any way for you directly to comment on what we're talking about. But I know you're out there and I know you're listening, and I want you to know that I am incredibly thankful for all of it. I want to give a special shout out to Alice Goes Nomad and to Timmy P, both of whom have contributed either once or multiple times financially to the channel to help keep this thing rolling. I can never repay that. Hopefully these videos in some way are worth that. So I really, truly appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Normally, 350 probably isn't a big deal on YouTube. It's not one of the ones that most people celebrate. The first 100 they say is the hardest, and the next big milestone is 500. When I get this channel to 500, I will do a YouTube live and we'll do some back and forth. I'll have some prizes. We'll do some giveaways and we'll really have a celebration. But for 350, I did want to at least give you something. So if you have been or would like to go to my Teespring store where there is some really rockin' Galaxy CDs swag, if you go there between now and December 10th, and make a purchase using the code GALAXY, GALAXY, you'll receive 10% off of your order. Additionally, I will have a link in the show notes and the description below for my eBay store. And if you use that particular link rather than the normal store link, you will be eligible for 20% off your entire purchase as long as you spend $5 or more. It is a special, it's a codeless coupon link. So you've got to use that link in order to get the discount. But if you go through that link, you'll save 20% off any purchase in my eBay store. It's not much, but it's my way of saying thank you for being here. Thank you for liking these videos. Thank you for sharing them. Thank you for commenting and participating in the community. I truly appreciate it. With that, we're going to take a quick break for the podcast listeners, and we're going to come right back with what's sold on eBay. All right, so let's get into this what's sold on eBay. Last week, if you were here, it was not real spectacular. There was a lot of really low dollar stuff. It was pretty disappointing. This week is a little bit better. We're going to start. This one I'm pretty sure is a viewer sale. Somebody reached out last week and asked for the link to my eBay store, and almost immediately after I posted it in the YouTube comments, I got an order for this wholesale lot of 30 CDs for $19.99. So you didn't leave a note on the purchase, so I'm not totally sure it was you, but I think it was you. Thank you. I appreciate it very, very much. I hope you like the CDs. I hope you're able to resell them if you're a reseller. It was a pretty nice looking lot. Next up, the Almanac of American Politics from 1980. I don't know. The way most people feel about politicians, I'm not sure why anybody would want a book, which is essentially just a list of everybody who held political office in the United States in 1980, so 40 years ago. But I found this book as part of that big lot that I'm working on. And initially, I wasn't sure I was even going to list it. And I thought, you know what? I'll try it. I'll throw it up there and see what happens. I listed it for $19.99. It was up less than a week and somebody bought it. So there you go. You just never know. The first of the CDs for the week, Tyrone Davis, Something's Mighty Wrong. This is from 1992, so this is going way back. Kind of an R&B soul album. I'd never heard of this guy, but I listed this for $24.99 with free shipping. I got a best offer of $20, and I went ahead and took that. This is out of the big 8,000 CD lot that I talk about regularly, so 3.5 cents is my cost. Next up, another book. This was a really interesting book. If you're into military history at all, this was the official records of the Union and Confederate navies in the War of Rebellion, so the Civil War. This was published in 1902. I don't know how many volumes there were total. This was volume 22, so there were a bunch. And this is literally every order from every commander on every ship in both navies that took place during the Civil War. So really fascinating piece. Like I said, I'm not sure how many were available total. This was another one that was one-off book in that big lot of books. So really interesting piece. I believe I had this listed for $24.99 or best offer. I got an offer of $22 and I went ahead and shipped it out. I've talked about old textbooks numerous times on this channel. Here's another one. Vintage Differential Equations from 1954. I picked this up at an estate sale, man, probably a year ago. Part of a big lot of books that I bought at that sale, so I probably own it for less than $1. Sold for $22.49 in my current 10% off sale, so that's a nice little flip. Another book, Happy Times by Lee Radziwill. I'd never heard of her. It appears that she was probably like a socialite in the maybe late 1960s, early 1970s. And this is just kind of a photo journal of her time in cosmopolitan New York and London. And it was really, there were some really cool pictures in there. I listed this for, I believe, $27.99 or best offer. Got an offer of $23 and went ahead and sent this out. Another CD, Lil' Kim, the Notorious K.I.M. from 2000. This was new and sealed, pretty hard to find in that condition. I listed it for $24.99. This is another one out of that big lot, so I own it for less than 4 cents. $24.99, free shipping for Lil' Kim. Oh, yeah. Another CD from 1992, Raid, Above the Law, from a little label called Hardline Records. This is another one from that lot. $24.99 out of 3.5 cents. Another book, Ancient Siege Warfare. This was from 1999. It was a first printing on a publisher called Souvenir Press. This was about literally ancient, like Roman and Grecian times, siege warfare. Not my thing. $25 from a book that I own for $0.25. That is definitely my thing. Now we're getting into some money. Another CD, Once Upon a Force. This is a soundtrack from a movie. The soundtrack was done by James Horner and Michael Crawford. The movie, I believe, had Ben Vereen in it doing vocals. So really interesting piece. This was new and sealed. I listed it for $49.99 or best offer. Got an offer of $40 on it. Again, out of that big lot for 3.5 cents. So $40, we will take that all day long. I've talked about these old model railroad magazines. I think there may be more coming up here in a minute. This is both model railroading and just general modeling. This is a bound edition of the Model Craftsman magazine from 1938 and 39. I had these listed really high because I was the only one that had anything like this. They've been at $65 for quite some time. I was running it for 20% off, which had it at $52 plus shipping. I got an offer earlier in the week for $52, but the guy wanted free shipping. I was like, I can't really back the shipping out of it, so send me an offer for $46.55 plus shipping, and I'll accept it. That's what he did, and it's on its way. I own this for $1 whole. This is individually, these were not really all that fantastic, but I had one customer who sent me multiple messages about all the cool CDs he found in my assortment. But he bought 4 CDs at an average of a little over $12 a piece. So Urge Overkill, and then 3 by the band called Seam. Total sale was $48.99 with free shipping. So again, out of that big lot. So this whole thing probably cost me less than 16 cents. Here's the other model railroad magazines. This was 4 different years, 1964, 66, 67, and 68. I think the only reason the guy probably didn't buy 1965 is because I already had sold it. These went for a total of $84.20 plus shipping. Each of these years, as I've talked about in the past, I own for 96 cents total. So this entire lot cost me less than $4 and went for essentially 84 bucks. And the flip of the week. This one went at auction. So we've talked a couple of times about sometimes auctions work and sometimes they don't. This is one that definitely did. This was Modern Pleas for Anarchy and Rebellion, reviewed, and then there's a whole bunch more that's actually in the title. This book is from 1723. This particular copy of it had been rebound sometime in the late 19th or early 20th century, so late 1800s or early 1900s. There was a note in the book from the previous seller which kind of outlined the history of this book and that it had been rebound. So all of that was disclosed in the listing. I assume if this had been in its original cover, it probably would have brought a lot more money. There wasn't anything else like this listed. So this was another one that I just took a gamble on. I put it out there for, I think starting price was $29.99. And it kind of went crazy. Got to $100 really, really quickly. And then today, a couple more bids at the last minute, right before it sold. It closed at $147.50 plus shipping. This is out of that big 2,500 book lot. So I own this book for 25 cents. That is, if I could do a couple of those a week, I would be sitting pretty. So last week, notwithstanding, this week was really, really good. I'm super excited about the way things have picked up here as we start to get closer and closer to Thanksgiving. So hopefully your business is doing well. Let me know in the comments what you think of this. Congratulations and thank you again for participating in the channel. I appreciate it. And we will do this again with 500 subscribers, except we'll do it live. With that, we're going to close it for today. I appreciate you stopping by. And now it's time to sell. Thanks, guys. Hey, everybody. Thanks for spending a little time with Galaxy CDs, rocks, and flips. If you'd like to spend a little more time, there's another video in the upper right-hand corner. If you'd like to spend a lot more time, you can subscribe down below.